Hi everyone, so guess what, I'm actually coming to you tonight in my pyjamas with a review, a book review. I bet you thought I'd never do one of those ever again. Anyway, this review is on Glow by Amy Kathleen Ryan. And yeah, this cover reminding you of something? Yeah. So, like Across the Universe by Beth Revis, this is a young adult sci-fi / dystopian novel. This is the first in a series which shall be called the Sky Chasers series. And I don't know if this is the cover that they're running with. I mean, it's very pretty, but yeah, I just immediately thought, oh, hello, Across the Universe. It's not the cover that's featured on the Goodreads page, so I'm not sure. This is going to be released, I believe, on September 27th, last time I checked. This was the first uncorrected proof copy that I've ever been sent. It was really cool. It doesn't even have like the information in here, just this imprint page to come. That excited me, and I found one typo too. I just got really... I enjoyed this book, I did. I give it a solid 4 stars out of 5. In terms of just the kind of basic sci-fi, we're on a spaceship heading to a future planet kind of thing, it has a lot of the, I guess, archetypes and kind of plot points that you would expect that kind of story to have if if you've watched your Battlestar Galactica or any of your sci-fi where they're on a ship and they're heading somewhere, then yeah, kind of ticks all those points. But it still maintains tension really well. I was continually wanting to keep going and questioning what I thought could possibly be happening and everyone's motivations and things. So it was quite tense and thrilling at times. And essentially it just follows this girl here, this is Waverly, and this lad here is Kieran. And they're on a ship called the Empyrean, which is a reference to John Milton's Paradise Lost. And they're on a ship heading to New Earth in the future. I'm assuming it's a good 100 years down the track. And yeah, they're boyfriend and girlfriend, and very early on into the novel shit happens and they get separated. And oddly enough, that kind of synopsis is what I thought Across the Universe was going to be, and then I was quite pleasantly surprised. So yeah, kind of reverse. Yes, and I did enjoy the book. I found myself connecting quite strongly to the character of Waverly. It's sort of, again, like, I don't want to keep making these comparisons, it's probably inevitable. Like Across the Universe, it has dual narrative, so it splits between Waverly and Kieran's point of views. I'd like to say it's evenly split, but I do think we spend a bit more time with Waverly. That could just be me, I don't know. For whatever reason, I just felt a stronger connection to her as a character. I tend to do that. I just automatically like the girl characters more than the guys. But I just found she was she was a strong-minded girlie, even though she was still very unsure about things and had lots of questions. And she was very intelligent and resourceful and very determined to do stuff. And she had a lot of empathy for people, and yet at the same time that didn't overpower her in doing what she needed to do when she had to go against others and stuff. I could understand a lot of her motivations and things, even on the occasions when she, voiced opinions I didn't agree with and stuff. It's interesting because probably more so in sci-fi dystopian things, I'll get more riled up about moral issues and things that, questions that are raised and opinions that differ from my own. I guess because often moral debate is such a central part of a dystopian book and a sci-fi book. Especially, I mean, you've got people on the ship in the future going to colonate some new planet, and of course one of the central ideas is procreation and continuing the human race, so getting on with making babies, and that's a big theme in this book, I'll say that much. And a lot of the time I was feeling really uncomfortable and angsty because I'm just very anti-maternal, so it always makes me I just get really squeamish when people talk about it and talk about the glory of, of having babies and bringing them forth and la 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 la. And even though it's really understandable in the context, it still made me uneasy. And yeah, I'll just say that much. It's a really central theme, and it motivates a lot of what goes on in the characters, like their decisions and what they do. Kieran he's interesting because sort of like, again, the distance I kind of felt when reading Elder in across the universe. I sort of, there was a bit of a disconnect for me, and there was between me and Kieran as well. I guess because I bonded with Waverly first, so she got dibs. But, Kieran, he's interesting. I mean, I sincerely felt really bad for both characters, I should say. There is a fair amount of, it's not too graphic, but there's a fair amount of violence in this book and a lot of death. Lots of death. And some kind of gruesome goings-on and not too happy occurrences, for the most part. So I did sincerely feel really bad for both of them and the plights that they were going through and all the losses they suffered and stuff. But, yeah, Kieran, I think Kieran, one very particular trait of his personality and his character that especially comes through towards the end, and it's kind of used as a foreshadowing tool, which is interesting. But I'll say also religion, I guess a generalized sense of religion, though it seems like it's all Christianity based, so I don't know about that. But that's another kind of theme that's going on here as well. And that again made me feel a bit uneasy, and I guess that didn't help me, you know, kind of feeling closer to Kieran as a character, I suppose. And it's hard, it is very hard to feel a sense of them as a couple, because we only get maybe 4 short chapters early on with them together before all the shit breaks loose. So yeah, I think like future books should have them together more, I suppose, but you do very much just get a sense of them as individuals. So whenever they would, you know, whenever there were moments when they were reflecting on missing one another and how they felt, it was sort of hard to understand that, because you hadn't really spent any time with the two of them. There's some interesting supporting characters as well. There's one character who I knew from the outset. I just found him really interesting. And yeah, his kind of dilemma that he goes through, because he very, very quickly becomes an antagonist actually, and quite an intense force to be reckoned with too, like really quite frightening. But I still, for whatever reason, I'm really intrigued to see where his story goes in the future books. So yeah, he was cool. And there was one other supporting character who, for whatever reason, he reminded me of Neville Longbottom, so it's like, oh. But yeah, tension was maintained really well throughout, and there were quite a few good other villainous characters that I was like, oh, curse you. Yeah, I mean, I did sincerely enjoy it, and I think it's a solid start to a series. So yeah, I give Glow by Amy Kathleen Ryan 4 stars out of 5. Enjoy it if you read it if you enjoy sci-fi and stuff. Yeah, so give that a read. Bye.